G'day everybody, how you going today? It is so good to see you. I hope you are super well. Indeed, we may have gotten ourselves into a bit of a stupor in regards to teaser number 2 for the Z9. I certainly made myself believe that it was going to come in exactly a week, and it didn't. And I suspect the world is now falling apart. I'm only joking. And we might have the reason why it didn't happen 12 hours ago, and that is because Nikon has literally just 5 minutes ago dropped in my email box as a Nikon NPS member, not as anybody special, just as a normal everyday person. And as you do, sitting at my desk working away, and this email arrived. Less to carry, more to see. How exciting. And we've got some lovely pictures here. It appears to be from the Mediterranean somewhere. I'm sure somebody knows what this town is, where this town is. It's actually a really nice promo. Shows us some of the close-up macro capabilities right here. And the size. Yeah, I mean, that is tiny. This is the Australian pricing. And it's going to be available November 2021. There's a new lens that's been released, and there it is right there. It is the 18 to 140, which is a 27 to 210 equivalent, because it's designed for APS-C, or as we know in Nikon language, it is DX. I think this is an interesting lens because Nikon has basically created the APS-C version of this lens here. Now this is the 24 to 200 full frame lens. Catch my video about this up here. I think this is a really good lens for what it is, its price, its size, its weight, and the only thing that anyone really could complain about is the f-stops, which go out to 6.3. But what do you expect when you've got 24 to 200 in a package this size? Well, this is the APS-C version of that. It's not quite a 24, it's a 27. I already read with the speculation that this was going to arrive shortly. Some people were complaining that it was not a 24. Is there really that much difference in 3 mils? Sure, it's 3 mils, but maybe take a step back. And of course, I know you can't always take a step back, but honestly, they're pretty similar focal lengths. Anyway, this lens right here, to repeat, 35mm equivalent, it is a 27 to 210, so you do get an extra, you lose 3 mils on the wide, but you get an extra 10 on the long versus this full frame lens here. Now it's coming in at US $5.99, and Australian dollars, it's coming in at $9.99. That's about right. We tend to pay about a third more plus GST. And that gets you there to exactly the same number, because US prices are not quoted with their local tax, whereas our sales tax is federal. It's the entire country wide. In the USA, taxes are statewide, to the best of my understanding. So that's why it's so different, plus exchange rates. And just before we jump into talking a little bit more detail about this lens, here is the 50 to 250 on the Z50, and I think this lens is going to be similar in size, perhaps just slightly smaller, but obviously all the action happens out here and then it all goes back in anyway, but similar sort of size. Let's jump into some of the specs. And you might have noticed, why am I wearing this? Well, it's simply Nikon yellow. As simple as that. Sometimes I've got Sony orange on. And as for red, Canon red, I don't have a lot of Canon red clothes. I must get some, mustn't I? Maybe some Fuji green. Yes, I should. Anyway, today, this is in keeping with Nikon yellow, because we're talking about Nikon today. Let's jump into the specs. So this lens is a 3.5 to 6.3, which is interesting because the old version was a 3.5 to 5.6. So it's a little bit darker on the longer end than the F-mount version, but it is, I believe, lighter. The lens has a diameter of 2.9 inches or 73 millimeters, and it is 3 inches long or 90 millimeters long, 9 centimeters. So yeah, not very big, and it is quite similar to size in this one here. And it only weighs 315 grams, or if you want to go old school, that's 11.2 ounces. Now, when wide open, as in zoomed wide open, it has a minimum focus distance of 20 centimeters from the focal plane. Now that makes it quite good for close-up photography. Now Nikon, you can see here, they're selling it in their marketing as being an amazing all-rounder. And I think if you had a Z50 and this was a travel lens and covering everything from 27 to 210, I think is a pretty massive range. Plus with these close-up capabilities. Now, wide open, indeed it can be 20 centimeters, but when you're out at 140 mil, for example, it's 40 centimeters, and then by the look of it, it stays out to 40 centimeters, 40 centimeters being 1.3 feet. Another thing that's super exciting about this lens, and we absolutely would expect it to be there, it is stabilized. It has VR in it. That's something that I think in this day and age is pretty essential to either have it in the body or in the lens, especially if this is the only lens you're going to take with you. It's your kit lens and it's your whole life. Certainly if you have specialty primes and you're taking them on and off, say like a enthusiast or professional, then that's fine. But if this is the one lens and the only lens that you buy, I think you need to have stabilization one way or the other. This lens is stabilized. Absolutely awesome. The usual dust and drip resistance. The lens barrel and all moving parts are designed carefully, considering dust and drip resistance performance, with sealing that prevents dust and water droplets from entering the lens. And here's a quick overview of some of the technology: vibration reduction, ED glass, spherical lenses, stepping motors. Oh, and it's an IF lens. What's that? That's new to me, IF. And there is, of course, a control wheel on the lens that you can use for focus, aperture, ISO, or compensation of exposure. So I think this is a great lens for people who want to travel light, great lens for people who have something like a Z50 and they want the package to be pretty similar in size to what we have right here. And in this package, we are seeing a 27 to 210 equivalent. I think that's pretty awesome for people who have this type of use case. Obviously, it's not for everybody. A Z50 is not for everybody. And obviously, it works on a ZFC perfectly as well. And as I have tested, you can also stick it on your full frame Z cameras if you want to as well. And they just automatically crop the image for you. So, you know, versatile, fun, do what you want with it. If you're on a Z7, you get around 20 megapixels just below. And if you're on a, say, Z6, I think it's around 10 megapixels when it's automatically cropping to APS-C/DX for you. Anyway, this is a really interesting lens. As I said, we were all hoping, because, you know, everything's just hope and rumors until it's real. We were all hoping something would happen in the Z9 space today. I still think there's half a chance we might get something in the next 24 hours, or maybe it'll be in another week, or maybe the cycle of these teasers coming out is going to be random. There will be no pattern to it. Who knows? It's totally up to Nikon. It's their product. It's their R&D budget. It's their baby. They can do exactly what they want, and I'm cool with that. I'm actually finding the whole thing intriguing. Either way, the Z9 looks like a total cracker. It will be here soon. I'm confident of those two data points. It'll be amazing. It'll get here soon. When? Let's not worry about it anymore. Anyway, this lens, if you're in the Z50, ZFC space, I think it's good value. On paper, it looks good. Great. Glad to have that. Let's move to some of the big guns. I know a lot of you out there also want to see a 100 to 400 or a 200 to 600. I'm really hopeful that either one or both of those lenses will be arriving sometime very soon. And I've got another video coming up very soon looking at the Nikon 2021 report, which talks about the fact yet again, and this report was only published a month ago, that Nikon plans on having almost 30 lenses out by the end of financial year ending March 31st, 2022. That's only 5 months away. So, yeah, there's going to be some lenses coming. It has to be in order for that number to be reached. So don't worry. All right, everybody, let me know. What do you think? What do you think about the 18 to 140, 3.5 to 6.3 VR lens? What do you think of it? Are you pumped? Are you excited? I am. All right. Let me know in the comments below. It's been absolutely fantastic to see you. I do hope you are super well. And today you're feeling Nikon yellow. And please don't forget to subscribe if this is your first time here. Please like. And don't forget merch. Here's the merch. Get yourself a little bit of Canacone merch. Or Panacone X, which includes Panasonic, Canon, Nikon, Sony, and Fuji X. All in that one long name. I need to send myself one of those hats, don't I? I do indeed. Anyway, we'd love to see you very soon. Yeah. Okay, bye. Enough. I'm getting really hot in this Nikon yellow jacket. I'm going. All right. Seeing you.